Okay, so what do we do to keep us motivated every single day? Like the real techniques to move the needle. So there are some techniques that we use. We talked about meditation in the previous episode. Yeah, we do meditate a lot. Meditation is one of the things that I think and I feel actually that increases my productivity because as I am meditating, I am visualizing what I want to get accomplished, maybe that day or the next week or for the year. I just go and just let my mind sometimes to run wild just to kind of get the creativity from the field, from God, the universe, however you want to call it. But that's one of the tools that we use to really keep us motivated and engage on the things that we want to do.
So what do you do when you meditate? I know what I do, but what do you specifically do when you're meditating? Like, what are you thinking about?
So what I do in the morning, I start visualizing my day. So one of the first things I do is just to be grateful. Always grateful about my family, my health. I think I said that in the previous episode as well. Even grateful for my dogs, the opportunities. So I actually go deep. I close my eyes and I just go deep into how I want today to be unfolded.
Mm-hmm.
So I just get into these kind of trends of kind of really feeling good with myself.
Okay.
So sometimes I even put my hand on you, on your leg or your arm to kind of, to kind of have a real connection. You know what I mean? Why am I grateful? Because I know you're next to me. You know what I mean? So this kind of gives me, I touch you, I feel you, and it kind of gets me this sense of being grateful that you're my wife, that you're next to me, that I love you, or daughter, or son, or house, or health. I go through so many things.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do that, there's no reason for you to be upset in the morning, regardless of what's happening, because I'm basically anchoring my belief and acknowledging everything I have. So there's no reason to be upset after you really think about all those things, even though if you have problems or, so that's one of the things that I do when I meditate. And or sometimes what I also do to kind of increase, kind of the maximize my intention through meditation, I get my AirPods and I put some like a 10-minute meditation, I don't know, like a 432 hertz frequency, whatever, for 10 minutes, then 10-12 minutes, and I really go deep into it, and I also try to connect with, again, the source or universe or God to kind of give me answers, answers about maybe personal issues, personal things that I'm kind of, going through my head. I go really deep into the meditation state to kind of get an answer out of, again, the universe, God, or whoever. And that kind of makes me, again, start my day very strong.
So when you're meditating, like generally speaking, like on a daily basis, you're not just like closing your eyes and trying to stop the thoughts from coming and like clear your mind?
No.
Because I know that's like a big...
I don't.
I mean, there's different ways of doing it depending on what you're looking for, but I know that's like, people are like, oh, I can't meditate because my mind just never stops and I can't clear my mind of thoughts. And I'm thinking, well, like, yes, of course, that's one way of meditating, but that's not the way I do it either. I don't look for a blank mind or
no.
clearing all my thoughts.
No. Yeah, I do some others also to visualize what I want, But in the morning, the first one that I do, I'm just basically anchoring and just basically being grateful.
Mm-hmm.
So in the way I do it, so thought doesn't really get into random thoughts, creeps in, because they do, even though
Yes.
They do. I just basically saying everything out loud, but in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no other voice creeping in. So I'm grateful to be married to you. I'm grateful for this house. Grateful for my health. So it's basically like some sort of a meditation / prayer or so.
Mm-hmm.
That way keeps me intentional. I'm not letting just my mind run, because again, crazy thoughts creeps in
Yeah.
and it kind of breaks the flow
Yep.
of what you want to get accomplished. No, you have to have an intention. Again, this is just my technique. I'm setting up my day for success, being grateful in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's one of them that I think it actually really works. And I'm going to tell you why it works. Months ago, when I was working, we had this meeting at 8:30, from 8:30 to 9, and then I had another meeting at 9. Some of these meetings were just painful.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do this anymore. How am I going to I just don't really want to go to these meetings. And I was thinking through my meditations, the meeting is going to go great.
Yeah.
The meeting is going to go great. The meeting is going to be productive. If it's unnecessary, it's going to be cut off. The meetings are going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what happened after 2 weeks or 3 weeks when I was starting saying that? From 5 days a week, now they cut off to only Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I was like, oh, thank God. Now I have 2 days.
Mm.
Then I'll have to go to those dreadful meetings.
Yeah.
And in the morning, I used to get an email where I get the report from the previous shift and seeing the reports from production quality and sales and whatever. And man, we got to talk about the issues, and there's always, conversations or about what happened the night before. But then what I was trying to do also through my meditation before going to work was to, okay, it's going to be productive. It's not going to be confrontational.
Right.
It's going to be less confrontational. It's going to go smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
And it started happening that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was my perception that was changing, or I was just basically changing the world just with me setting it up in the morning. So just with me applying that technique in the morning, I saw the results within the weeks, within a few weeks.
Yeah.
So and then you're like, oh, meditation works. Oh, my intentions, what I'm trying to do, it works.
Right.
So those are the things that I do. There's another one that I also do about the things I want. And I cannot really get into visualization, about the things I want. It's funny because there is a car that I want, and I'm not even going to say the name in the podcast. And I was meditating here in the office. And while I was looking at it, believe it or not, I was able to smell the brand new car out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't even thinking to want to really smell it. Like I want to have the sensation of smelling a brand new car.
You're supposed to.
But as I was meditating, I was just basically the sensation of smelling the brand new car smell. Happened once because again I just started meditating about that car, but yeah. So there is a power behind meditation that shapes your reality. Shapes your reality. So okay, tell me about yours. What do you say? What do you do?
I mean, very similar. I just, I like, if I have time, I like to put on music in my earbuds, and I like to put on my eye mask just to get everything completely black. There's no distractions. Even if I open my eyes by accident or whatever, when I'm trying to focus, I can just really block out the world better. And I usually set a timer for whatever, however much time I have, 10, 20 minutes, sometimes like 30 to 60, depending on what I'm doing. Yeah, I start out by just going over what I'm grateful for in detail. My family, my house, my health, my wealth. I also always want to put in there something that even if you haven't seen the thing that you desire come to fruition. So for example, like we're working on wealth or our businesses being successful, like I'm just being grateful where we're at right now. So I'm like, thank you so much for our wealth and our successful businesses and whatever. So you want to make it feel like you've already achieved the thing. And that will call it into your life. Like it's a big one with manifestation. I know we haven't hit on that yet, but you always want to act as if you've already received the thing, whatever it is, love, wealth, health, whatever it is, you want to act as if you've already achieved the thing. And that can look like so many different things. Like if you're looking to manifest better health, just be grateful for the health that you already have. Even if you might be sick or you might have a ailment or a pain or this or that, just be grateful for the health that you do have.
Yeah.
Or the wealth that you do have, or the relationships that you do have, the love that you already have. Even if you're trying to get a relationship, like you experience love in a million different ways throughout the day.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a pet or a kid or a parent or a friend or even the mailman being really nice to you and, giving you a compliment. Like those are all acts of love, acts of kindness that you can still be grateful for, even if you don't have physically like the relationship that you want, you can still be grateful for those things. So I try to touch on everything, a little bit of everything when I'm meditating, what I'm grateful for.
That's why you do your meditations a little longer than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to break them down into
Yeah, I mean, this
so.
isn't every day. I mean, I try to do it every day, but like, I don't hit all the things every day. I probably want to get more clear on it as I go, and I do. I get better and more clear on it, but
it's very important to do that. Again, for us, we saw and we see the changes. We've been doing this for a long time now.
Yeah.
And we have manifested a lot of things.
Yeah.
Doing this.
Big things.
Big things. Yeah. This is not like there's another story here now. This is happening in our life.
Yeah.
Like I think I said it for one of the episodes that I wrote my letter of resignation in December.
Yep.
I got let go the month after. I think I wrote.
You got it let go in February. I think you dated it for February 12th or so.
Something like February 13th, and I was let go on February 6th. So just like that.
Yep.
Maybe did I feel that this was about to happen? Maybe, again, I was just manifesting it somehow. And it didn't even give me a reason why I was let go. It was a 5-minute meeting.
Yeah.
And all I said, I have nothing to say. And I walked out. I know you didn't like what I said that, but I was just like, my heart, everything was so sad. So like sad to
checked out.
Yeah. And it wasn't. I didn't check out because I had a meeting the week before that we were restructuring stuff, and I agreed to. But in a good way. It wasn't even, everything was kind of okay, but whatever. Things happen for a reason. I don't need to know why.
Right.
To be honest with you. So,
no, we don't need to know why.
Even if they give me a reason, okay, this is the big reason. Oh, whatever.
Right. That's fine because ultimately it's what we wanted. So, I mean, it's what I have been doing in meditations and visualizations as well is picturing you, visualizing you not going to work and visualizing our daily life the way we want to live, which, includes getting up and not being being in a rush in the morning and getting up and meditating and taking our daughter to school together and doing yoga together in our beautiful yard.
Yeah.
And taking the dogs for a walk and then coming in and eating breakfast and showering, getting ready to start the day and work on our businesses together in our gorgeous office that we have now in our home and doing all those things. So
yeah. Another thing, just to go back to why meditating or visualizing is so important. When we moved from Connecticut to Arizona, we had so much debt. And I remember also back then was more like a prayer, deep prayers of, we're not going to file bankruptcy. We were so close to file bankruptcy. I had so much debt. I was working. You were working also. We were paying all this crazy debt.
Couple $1,000s worth of debt every month because we were a couple $100,000 in debt.
It was like I think it was like almost $3,000 a month that we're in debt, just going out of credit cards and bank loans and
2 to 3,
yeah. And then I was like, we're gonna file bankruptcy, or you were asking me, and I was like, no, we're not going to. We're gonna make this through, and we did. Somehow, I didn't know back then. It wasn't easy.
Well,
I was working.
Still isn't paid off.
Yeah.
But again, we're still working on paying that off.
We're still paying that off. But again, we just way better now than before. And another thing that you wanted to be done with your job also years ago and work from home.
Yeah.
You've been working from home now, 7 years?
Yeah, well, when we moved here, I was working for my company remotely in Connecticut for a year, and then they went out of business.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you're right.
And, then COVID and all that crap hit. But
we decided.
I did not want to go and get another job because I was doing human resources, and it was like torture for me every day because I was just absolutely miserable being chained to a desk for 40 hours a week, or even working remotely. I was still chained to my desk doing it remotely, even though it wasn't 40 hours, but it was still miserable.
Yeah. And one of the goals was for you to work from home.
Yeah.
So, and that happened too.
Yeah.
It haven't been easy, but it's happening. It's our life now, right?
Yeah.
So another thing that we do to keep us motivated, we make breakfast. I eat every single day a mushroom coffee and 2 eggs, and maybe 1 toast every single day. Try to eat healthy or so in the morning. And I know, Kim, you make your smoothie.
Yep, I do a fruit smoothie with yogurt in there for protein, and some strawberries, blueberries, and pineapple is my favorite.
Yeah.
And then I add some chia seeds in there. Probably going to get into some protein powders for it, but not yet. I'm still...
Yeah, just to keep you nice and healthy. And again, if you like it, if you enjoy it, try to find a good breakfast that you like. I don't enjoy having freaking 2 eggs and mushroom coffee every single day, but I'm just like, you know what? I know it's good for me. It makes me feel good, so it makes me happy. Well, that's it. That's done.
Well, I like to pick a healthy meal that I can make fast. It's healthy, it's fresh, and it's quick, and I don't have to think about it. So, I don't have to sit there. Of course, when I taste, I'm like, this is good. This is tasty. But it's not like, oh, I can't wait to have my smoothie in the morning. I don't look forward to that. But it's quick and it's done, and I don't have to think about it. I don't want to think about what to eat because that drives me crazy. I hate sitting there struggling about thinking about what's healthy. What can I make? I don't want to make it. I don't want to clean dishes. I just want to do it fast, easy, and get it done with.
Yeah, try to find something that you like. Look forward, to it. Hey, I'm eating something delicious.
Yeah, I don't look forward to it, but...
All right, yeah, well, everyone have their own
different.
way. Yeah, everyone's different, for sure. So and then after, I know sometimes, Kim, you do Pilates sometimes, or workout, or yoga. Sometimes we're gonna throw a mix there, here and there.
Yeah,
I don't do Pilates, but
yeah, I was doing Pilates at a studio 5 days a week. I was going, but for 3.5 years or more. But as you know, I got injured my arm, so I could no longer do that, and I'm trying to figure out the best ways to go about healing my arm because it's been very limiting. So
we're gonna figure out how to fix the arm for sure.
Yeah,
That's one of the goals.
I've been modifying,
Yeah.
like, even the yoga poses we were doing this morning, like, I couldn't do a lot of it
Couldn't do it. Yeah.
because it just hurts, but
Yeah.
anyways.
And yeah, well, you went to the doctors a few times trying to figure it out, and we haven't been able to figure it out. So that's another thing that we need to fix. Just figure how we're going to figure it out your arm to get the mobility back.
Well, I say my arm, but it's actually my spine, but it's radiating down my arm, so I cannot use it to full capacity any longer.
Yeah. So now, well, let's see how we're going to get that fixed, and that will be another episode.
Yeah.
So, and then we also take the dogs for a walk. Not every single day, but we try
As
to.
they would tell you.
Yeah. But we try to take them for a walk. Now, when we do the walking, we are actually also thinking and talking about our goals. Oh, what do we want to get accomplished?
Making
plans. Again, we're still kind of irradiating this kind of energy from our mind, from our bodies to the universe. That things are working out for us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just like, let's take the dog. So everything that we do with an intention, because we know that we somehow, when you have an intention, things are going to work out one way or another. So that's what we do when we take the dogs for a walk and, connect with nature.
Getting out in nature and getting our energy flowing by exercising.
Mm-hmm.
And then that gets our thoughts and ideas flowing, which is what we used to do. And when we lived in Connecticut, we'll go back to that. Like when we were trying to figure out how are we moving to Arizona? Like, how can we make this happen? We have a couple $100,000 in debt. We have 2 kids. I had my son's father there that I had to make an arrangement with. We had a home that we had to sell. And you had to come here and get a job. We had so many moving parts, but that's one of the things we did. We just kept moving every day. We would take our daughter, we didn't have dogs back then, but we put our daughter in her carriage. She was a year old at that point, whatever, something around there. And we would get out and walk up and down, the street and take her to the park and think about ideas and discuss how can we move forward with all these obstacles that were, potentially holding us back.
Yeah. The way I see it, meditation isn't only just going to quiet your mind and just go to your room or whatever and try to, again, quiet your mind or so, but even going for a walk, when you're walking with an intention. I remember when I used to work out, I used to go to the gym. It was like 2 years ago. I like to jog or go on the treadmill. I was actually thinking about what I wanted to get accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
I always have this vision running. It's like a little engine.
Well, going. Yeah, energy is movement.
You need to have that.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have some sort of obsession. Not a bad obsession. It's just an intention.
Right.
Have like a great faith that it's going to happen, and it's happening. So after we do that, after we take the dogs for a walk or so in the morning, we also get back home, and then we go to our office, and then we're gonna start working on our business,
mm-hmm.
Or our online business, and also we work on the podcast episodes to evaluate everything about topics. And again, our podcast is just about our life. It's about what actually works and what not.
Mm-hmm.
Our idea is for our podcast resonate for the people out there, how to manage, stress, finances, family. So it comes basically from our own experiences.
Right.
So nothing is made up here. It's just.
And I know that we've touched on another episode about hypnosis, but that's been a huge game changer for me as well that I would love to touch on again because I get very excited about the topic. Self-hypnosis, if you can't afford hypnotherapy, you can go online on YouTube and get some hypnosis videos or whatever that you can just plug in and listen to. Yeah, that's been a total game changer for me because we all have such limiting beliefs and whatnot. So I needed to kind of eradicate those and fix those before I can.
Yeah,
I had to remove them because otherwise I would just getting stuck in my own thoughts and my own beliefs that are deeply ingrained in me,
Yeah.
which we all do.
Yeah.
And at night,
No, babe, then
okay.
we go pick up our daughter,
Okay.
and then you manage to go early to go pick her up, so
Oh.
you have some time to read your book.
Oh yeah, every day. Yes. I schedule that in my day specifically to give myself time to read my book and work on whatever it is I'm working on,
Yeah.
whatever the book is about, but it's always personal development and because that whole genre just excites me.
Yeah.
And so I go about a half hour early and I'm still not the first one in line.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
always people ahead of me, but I take that time and I know I rush Ken out of the house because he takes forever to get out of the house, but I yell and say that I'm leaving without you,
Right.
even though I never do. We get in line and we have about 20 to 25 to 30 minutes to sit there and wait for the bell to ring and the kids to come out, or I just turn off the radio in the car and I just focus on my book and really get into whatever it is I'm reading and try to not just read to get through the pages. I'm reading for meaning and I'm
Yeah.
reading for implementation, and I want to make those habits and ideas stick of what I'm reading about.
Right.
Otherwise, it's kind of pointless to be reading it because I want to make the changes. It's super important to me to make the changes and to implement them into my life.
Right. So yeah, always reading a good book is gonna be beneficial for you, regardless of the genre. If you like it, if you like the book, find something that aligns with you.
If nothing else, even if you're not doing it for personal development or learning, just to decompress and check out
Exactly.
and get out of your head and again, I take that time for myself. Like, that's my time. Like, even if I have friends texting me or I try to not respond unless it's, important or whatever. I just try to check out.
Another thing that we do, we usually eat dinner at the table with the whole family.
Every night.
So we are connected. We put their cell phones on the side, even though sometimes our boy wants to bring his cell phone.
The only time that's acceptable is when he's like texting his customers or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, we eat and then we talk about what happened during the day, or what happened at school with our daughter, or we always talk about things. We try to not argue on the table. Sometimes, it doesn't happen with 2 kids on the table.
Oh boy.
But we try to create that bond, with our family.
It's a little bit hard with our situation because our daughter is 10 and our son is almost 20 in a month. And so the topics range greatly of what they want to talk about. And of course, you and I always want to talk about what our son wants to talk about, which is business or motivation or, whatever. And our daughter does not want to talk about that. She wants to talk about what happened at soccer today at school and at recess, or, the girl who said what, or da-da-da-da-da-da. But, so it's really hard to manage that, but...
bond with your family, I think that's one of our wealth.
Yeah.
Some people don't even consider that as a wealth. I do. This is priceless. Being at the table, eating dinner with my family, that I don't take that for granted. So pause your day and focus on your family. The half hour or so that you're with them, and embrace that. So that's one of the things that really, really keep us motivated throughout the days, and just enjoy your family.
And I
Very,
know that
very
they
important.
enjoy it too, because honestly, it's not even, you say a half hour, but it honestly usually ends up being more like an hour
Mhm,
because we eat and then we sit there and talk. And I
mhm.
truly believe that they enjoy it too. I mean, again, our daughter gets
Yeah,
restless and she wants to
yeah,
not talk about those topics. So she'll usually get up and dilly dally around or play with the dogs
yeah.
in the other room, that's connected to our dining room. So she'll be around, but we'll sit and talk with our son, and he, for a 20-year-old to sit there, 19, he's not
Yeah.
20 yet, but for him as a teenager still wanting to sit there and talk to us every night, that's kind of a proud parent moment also for me anyways.
Mhm.
Just knowing that he wants to be there and spend that time with us because I
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that at 19,
Right.
18, 17. We've
Yeah.
been doing it for so long, but
Right.
um
I used to tell my mom, "Just leave it there." I was just playing with my friends,
right.
and
Same. I didn't want
I will eat it
anything.
cold or put it in the microwave like everyone ate, or
Mhm.
not really. My mom wanted me to, but I was just too busy with my friends, or, at that age, or
Yeah.
I'm not gonna eat at home or whatever.
Yeah. So that's
So
part of the priorities that we talked about
mhm,
in another episode of, why we struggled when you were working um to grow our businesses and stuff like that because we were prioritizing our family
right.
and
Mhm,
our values and our beliefs and
exactly.
you
Yeah,
know enjoying the time with them.
right. Then after that, we go watch a show with our daughter. Our boy
Mhm.
checks out at that time. Of course, like, all right, I had enough.
Well, at that time, he's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
nothing else is going on here
yeah,
but nonsense shows that my little sister wants to watch."
yeah. And then we watch a show with her every night before she goes to bed.
Either that or play a board game
Yeah.
or something,
Hmm.
um,
Then what we do right
or take the
after,
dogs for a walk.
or yeah, if we don't do it during the day, we do it
Right.
at night. Yeah, take the dogs for a walk at night. And then what we do sometimes, we talk. You and I we talk about the business. What are we doing the day after, or what we accomplished that day, or what needs to be accomplished, or sometimes if we feel like the day was productive enough, we try to decompress watching a show,
Mhm.
and it feels kind of. Sometimes we feel guilty that we're kind
Yeah.
of wasting time watching a show at night.
Yeah.
We should be grinding, But the things that I want to do, the way that I envision our life moving forward is just to kind of work during the day,
Mhm.
try to work during the day, and at night I can enjoy the family. And then if the day feels productive enough or so, we kind of decompress. I noticed that when we are working at night, we go to bed thinking about.
Yeah, you don't sleep.
You don't sleep. I'm just thinking about
What we're working on.
And it's just
If we work too late, yeah.
because we used to do that. Sometimes we do. We don't want to, but sometimes we can. All right. Before we
Gotta
know, it's like
finish
10.
something.
It's 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., 10:30. And of course, we want to read a book before we go to bed and meditate again.
Mhm.
So I like to read a book. You got me into that, reading the book before bed. And it's good because again, you kind of brain marinates on those last
Lots
pages or
ideas.
so that you were reading the night before. And then I go into my prayers, and then I go to my prayers again on my meditation, which is again being grateful and visualizing now what I want. Trying to really put it out there, and it's just it feels great, when I do all that, and then I go to bed. But yeah, so that's basically our day. Nothing crazy, but
Before I go to bed every night, yes, I do all that of what you said, but I have a note in my phone.
oh yeah,
I want to talk
forget
about that. Um, and I've been reading that note since before we moved to Arizona. So you're talking about I want to say I started it in 2017, maybe 2016. And I've
10 years now.
I've continually updated it as I've achieved the things, but the note is just something that, says exactly what my life looks like or what I want my life to look like.
Yeah.
So for example, mine, I'll just give you like a quick synopsis of what it says, but I'll give you this. I'll give you the example of what it used to say. I used to say, I'm so grateful and thankful for my family. Now that we're living in this, at the time I wanted a $500,000 house, fully paid. And that my husband and I work in our office in our very successful business, and we live in Arizona and whatever, things like that. My kids are succeeding or happy or healthy and wealthy, all those things. And what I noticed is after we moved here, I read that every single night. What I noticed is before we even moved here, I started reading that every single night, the last thing I do before bed, the very, very last thing, so I can kind of marinate in my brain while I'm sleeping. And after we moved here, I noticed that I was checking the things off on that note in my phone. Like, we started achieving those things because I was crystal clear about what I wanted, and I was putting it out into the universe. And sure enough, one by one, I started achieving them. So now I update it accordingly. The things didn't happen just like that. No. But like one thing will happen, and then I'll notice in my note, like, oh, actually, I already have that. Yeah. And then I'll update it. And then the next thing I can kind of check off and I'll be like, oh, I already have that. So then I'll update it, I'll upgrade, and I'll be like, okay, now I want, whatever it is. But so that is one thing that I swear by, and I still do that every single night. And again, I'm working on some of the things I'm still working on from 2016 that we want, but they've evolved and they've changed and they've grown. But we keep achieving and keep checking them off and updating, and I will swear by that.
Yep. It definitely worked. It definitely worked. A lot of things that we put on our heads to make it happen.
And things that, by the way, I had no concept of how we could achieve these things, because we had hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. And then I'm looking for, a $500,000 house or $1 million house paid for in full. We had no means of achieving that, but I believed that we could, and I believed, that it would happen. And I just kept focusing on it and repeating and repeating and repeating. And sometimes I read it throughout the day, random times when I would think about it. I just leave the note open on my phone all the time, and I read it whenever I, pass it by.
Yeah, and it's funny because while you were reading that, I was going to work and I was driving through a road, and every time I made a right, I said one of these homes it's gonna be ours. Every single day.
Yeah.
And then not even a year after, right where I used to turn, we bought the house right at the corner.
Yeah.
I didn't even see the house. I couldn't even see the house because in Arizona they're all like communities and they're all like enclosed with these walls. So I couldn't even see the front of the house
on the other side of the wall.
Nothing. I was just every single day, one of these homes is gonna be ours. 8 months after, 9 months after, we bought the house.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
It is when you think about it, and there's a lot more to
or the fruit trees that we have now also.
Yeah.
That we remember back then that we used to say that we want to have fruit trees.
Yeah.
And we have them.
A lot, yeah.
So
a bunch.
A lot of things that sometimes you don't even see it. You just say it, with intention or plan it with intention.
Yeah, a lot of the things that you say, you don't even remember that you say, or you don't connect the dots like, well, gee, I asked for that. I asked the universe for those fruit trees. Like, you don't connect those dots. But the good thing about making the notes that I was just talking about is I can visually see the things, and I remember because I'm reading it and because I have it in my notes, and it's such a great reminder, like, oh shit, I did ask for that and I did get it. Because a lot of things you don't remember. You're just like, oh yeah, I thought about that once, but you don't connect the dots that you called that into your life.
It's part of your list. Yeah. So that's basically our day.
Our daily routines.
Yeah, we try to keep us motivated every single day. So again, going through our meditations, reading books, enjoying time with our family, quality time with our family, our dogs, so with ourselves.
And
Okay.
being grateful for
Being
all
grateful.
of it.
And you have to rewrite your brain, and you have
Yep.
the power to do it.
Yep.
It's not gonna change. It's not gonna happen just like that. No, it won't.
Yep.
Your brain defaults to these old habits, but you have to rewrite it. And then once you make the decision to rewrite it, okay, I'm changing the way I'm living, everything will start changing right away.
Yeah. And even the bad events that occur, and you'll say, but wait a minute, but you don't have a family member who's dying, or like, we of course have those problems.
We have problems that
We
we haven't
have
talked
them.
about.
We haven't even touched on a million problems that we have or have had, but we're choosing to look at them as we talked in the last episode about, that everything is going to work out, and trusting that it will. So yes, we do have, aging parents, and my mother with breast cancer, or, different things. So yes, we do have those problems, but we're choosing to stay positive, and we're choosing to trust that they will work out.
The process,
That mindset is what is keeping us happy in the moment versus dwelling on it and spiraling out of control.
Right.
So design your life the way you want it.
That's right. So you can do it. So, all right. So I guess that's all for today.
Yep.
I guess
And
we'll
we'll talk to you next time.
all right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey there. If you like this episode, please like, share, and join our community. And check out our website at kenandkimpodcast.com for free tools and resources. We'll talk to you next time.